If you've had a chance to read over my story, I just want to say that I really, really appreciate it, and thank you. And despite how bad my story may seem, or perhaps even yours, I know that there are stories out there that are even worse than both of ours. But it was through these struggles and these tribulations that really helped me to discover my life purpose, and that's to help other people, serve them, and give back to as many people as I can. And to do that, I became a health and wellness coach. If I were to look back now and try to think about what has gotten me to this point here today, I think it was I had 3 major surgeries growing up, and each of them were pretty invasive. I had a slap tear repair in my shoulder and 2 ulnar nerve transpositions on my right elbow. And if you're into science and sports injuries, you can feel free to Google them, but in each case, they all took over a year to heal. And what I've come to realize now through that is that I sort of had an issue with body image. I struggled to accept, I think, my body as what it was. I was always undersized, I felt skinny, and I felt this inherent need to bulk up and be strong and have a lot of muscles and be cut and to impress women and to be comfortable with myself, I think, really. But it was through these multiple surgeries and even my eating disorder that I became very knowledgeable about the health of the body, both physically and mentally, and even spiritually. I had tried things to fix my pain, such as acupuncture, meditation, therapy, talking with people, exercise, yoga, swimming, all the herbs and vitamins you could think of under the sun, pain meds, antidepressants, you name it. I had explored, and I felt like I exhausted every area that I could possibly think of to fix my pain. So after I had exhausted pretty much all the resources I could to being able to fix my pain physically, it was a do or die situation for me. It was either I commit suicide because I can't live with this pain anymore because it is too much, or fuck it, and I just live with it, and I don't treat it, and I don't acknowledge it, and I just continue to live life and move on. And it wasn't until I started to do that I started to see improvement. And what I did is I realized I had all these other things in my area that were fucked up in my life. I didn't enjoy my job. I wasn't speaking to my father at the time. Family relationships were my friendships were I wasn't going out. I was living at home. A girlfriend was the last thing on my mind. A quote here that I love: how you do one thing is how you do everything. What do I mean by that? I think life can be broken down into sort of these big major components: health, your life purpose, your career, love, friendships. And when one of those things is out of whack, I can almost guarantee you another one's out of whack. And how do I know that? Well, because when I stopped dealing with the pain, when I stopped acknowledging it, that's when I realized everything else was going around on me, and it wasn't the way I wanted it to be. And it wasn't until I started working on all these other areas of my life that I began to see improvement. And it was like a miracle. The pain in my arm and in my foot and in my stomach, it just vanished. It vaporized. And it feels like a miracle. I have no other way to explain it. It just feels incredible to come to realize how connected the mind, the body, and the spirit really are. I mean, it's fascinating. When I started to improve these other areas of my life, the other ones got better. It's remarkable. And I mean, this realization didn't happen overnight. It was a hell of a ton of work. I mean, I wouldn't want to do it again, but I'm grateful and am extremely glad that I'm in the position that I am in now. And it's because of what I went through that I feel so compelled and obliged to give back and help other people. I mean, how could I not? And I'll tell you one thing, my life is not dandelions and roses. It is not perfect. But I will tell you one thing, I have never felt so equipped to be able to handle anything that life throws at me. And I really mean that. I could be diagnosed with cancer tomorrow, and I feel like I would be able to handle that. And if you are willing to put in the time and the effort and be open and willing to learn what it takes to get here, I will show you everything that I know. And I'll tell you what, there is no better feeling. Thank you.